Hey there, my friends. Let's consider today, why is sarcasm painful? This comes from a question that was sent to me, which I'll read you real quick, from Julie. Thank you for the question, Julie. I was wondering if you could spend a little time exploring sarcasm. Yes. I'm asking because sarcasm from others often leaves me feeling hurt, confused, and ashamed. When I find myself being the sarcastic one, I also feel ashamed. I'm disappointed in myself for not clearly communicating my true feelings, and I feel like I've insulted the one receiving the sarcasm. For the record, I don't find your ultra-spiritual videos to be spiteful or sarcastic, but they're really hilarious, including my favorite one on powerful parenting. What's going on here, man? Well, thank you for the question, Julie. Yeah, so why is sarcasm painful? The pain of sarcasm being the shadow side. If you look at the word sarcasm, it comes from the Greek word sarcasmos. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm not Greek. I don't even know what I am. But sarcasmos, it means to tear flesh. So, of course, sarcasm is often painful on us because it's like we're getting our emotional flesh torn. The one expressing sarcasm, whether that's me or it's you, the one expressing the sarcasm is typically expressing it out of a place of pain. That's why when we watch people be sarcastic, even if they're not directing it towards us, it can feel uncomfortable and kind of even painful for us to watch them because their sarcasm is actually an expression of their pain, how their flesh has been torn, and how they feel wounded inside. Yet they're not sitting there saying, boy, I sure feel wounded right now. No, they're expressing their torn flesh through sarcasm. So essentially, sarcasm that we're witnessing is a symptom of a person's deep pain most of the time. So that can be why it feels uncomfortable watching someone be sarcastic. And of course, that explains why it's uncomfortable on us when we're the one receiving the sarcasm. Because not only are we seeing them essentially symptomatically express their pain, but it's being projected onto us. Why would a person do that? And why do you and I do it when we're sarcastic some of the time? If I can perpetrate you with my sarcasm, my deep pain inside my torn flesh, if I can project that onto you, inflict pain on you, then I get to own the illusion that I'm in the power of the perpetrator. I caused you pain. Which means I don't have to sit here and feel how I feel pain. No. I have the conscious sense of I caused you pain because I was sarcastic towards you. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Sarcasm. So if I have the sense I caused you pain, then my conscious awareness says you are the one in pain. So that I don't have to sit here and acknowledge I'm the one in pain. It's statistically, a little bit of an outside analogy. Statistically, 95% of all sexual offenders that perpetrate on children, 95% of them have been molested when they were a child. So here they grow up as adults and they are perpetrating their pain outward as a way of trying to escape from their inward pain. So sarcasm, using that analogy, sarcasm shows us, we do that. The pain I have inside, I perpetrate that onto other people. So sarcasm creates scars. Sarcasm is a result of our unresolved scars. A friend of mine named Brandon Hawk, he calls sarcasm scarcasm. It's an expression of our scars, certainly. With that said, when you notice yourself being sarcastic, here's what I challenge you to do. Try and get vulnerable. Instead of deflecting from your pain through sarcasm, which not only, as Julie points out, it leaves me feeling more pain, like I'm ashamed and confused why I would do that to someone. Not to mention the fact that we're potentially perpetrating pain onto others. So instead of doing that, we see if we can get vulnerable. Instead of me passive-aggressively criticizing you, say, wait a minute. What am I inside? What am I afraid of, shamed of? What kind of sadness, guilt, grief, jealousy, anger am I experiencing? What emotion do I have inside that I can get vulnerable with instead of being defended about and misdirecting that emotional energy through sarcasm? So we're called to inquire inside of us, what's really going on when I notice my symptomatic expression of sarcasm or my urge to be sarcastic, even if I stop it. And then when we are the one receiving the sarcasm, my challenge to you is first have a voice. Can you actually be open, honest, and certainly vulnerable and express to someone, hey, I see you smiling, I heard what you said, and I need you to know, here's how I feel about that. I feel sad about what you're saying. It doesn't strike me as funny. So we need to be able to have a voice for ourselves. And of course, if the sarcastic abuse, and abuse might be a dramatic word, and it honestly may not be dramatic enough, but if the sarcastic abuse continues, then of course we may be called to assert our healthy boundaries and distance ourselves from the source of the sarcasm. Right about now, you're probably saying, okay, JP, how much of a hypocrite are you? Your whole ultra-spiritual video series, there's a lot of sarcasm and satire in there. Some of your other videos as well. Well, here's my intention with those videos. The light side of sarcasm for me is opening up, tearing flesh, not for the sake of harming, yet tearing flesh, if you will, creating an opening for the sake of exploring. Kind of like doing an exploratory surgery where we open up a gap that otherwise wouldn't be there, cutting the flesh of our conscious awareness. And in those videos, I present something and essentially say, do you have this? Do you own any expression of this? So my intention is sarcasm for the sake of discovery and healing, rather than sarcasm for the sake of hurting or the sake of deflecting from my hurt. And if it's true that all sarcasm comes from pain, then I do want to acknowledge to you, any of my satirical videos, they genuinely do come from a place of pain that I've been. A lot of those places, I think it's pain that I've reconciled and a pretty good job of healing. Probably still have more to do. And a lot of that pain has to do with losing myself. I don't know of a greater pain than when I lose myself. And that's what a lot of the ultra-spiritual videos in a global sense are aiming or being aimed from. Pain that I've experienced through losing myself through the superficial agenda of quote-unquote finding myself. There's no greater way to lose yourself than to believe you're finding yourself while you're losing yourself. Zephyr's scratching at my door. I'll hurry up so I can let him in. And by the way, my whole here footnote about my sarcastic videos, honestly, maybe I'm just offended. Maybe those videos truly do come from a shadow place of sarcasm. Certainly you, please be the judge of how you experience them, and as I offer my perception of what my intention is. With that said, Julie, thank you very much for your question, and to you, all my lovely viewers out there, like I own you. How's that for a sense of dominance? My viewers out there, to you lovely people who have your own free will, who no one owns you other than your own self, hopefully. Thank you for exploring sarcasm with me. why it's there, what it's actually an expression of, and what we can do about it. I'll look forward to talking with you next time. And before you go, if you haven't already done so, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'll look forward to talking with you next time.